Hey, everybody, and welcome to the new adventure and the new edition, the maiden voyage of the Cavs Legends Stable on Rock Entertainment Sports Network. We are presented by Surfside. Surfside is iced tea and vodka and lemonade and vodka, 100 calories, zero bubbles. Available now. My name is Rafa Hernandez-Brito. I'm the Bi-Lingual broadcaster for the Cleveland Cavaliers and also Impact and Equity Ambassador for our community. But I cannot do this alone. I have to bring in my good friend, Director of Alumni Relations, Mr. Michael Campanella Russell. Welcome, Campy. How are you?
Well, Rafa, you called it just right. You said Michael Campanella Russell. That is really unusual because most people just know me as Campy Russell. So I appreciate you doing that.
By the way, I have to say I'm the only one in the whole organization that calls Campy Michael. Sometimes people look at me like, who are you talking to? And like, I'm talking to Campy right here.
Yes.
But Campy, we mentioned you are Director of Alumni Relations. And this season, as my new role with the Social Impact team with the Cavaliers, I've been working with you to make something happen for our fans here when they come to all the home games, something we call Cavs Legends Corner. Now we turn the corner into a table. But let's talk about the corner first and what are we trying to achieve in the corner and also now on the table.
Well, I think when you look at both the corner, Legends Corner, as well as what we're doing right now, the Legends Corner is more about just an opportunity to engage our fans and to engage our fans along with us. So it's just a good relationship when you can bring both of those elements together. It just creates all kind of good synergy. It creates all kind of commitment to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the way the Cavaliers is playing now, hey, everybody wants to be a part of it.
And I think everybody likes to be a part. And I have noticed, we have been lucky enough to be able to let our fans know through Twitter on Cavs Care or also at Cavs about who is going to be joining us at the corner. And we have seen some very singular, odd items that have been brought by our fans to be signed.
Yes.
And that is something that I think I have had a lot of fun watching. We had a lady come in and bring a ticket for the first ever game celebrated here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. That had a picture of Mike Fratello, Brad Doherty, and Mark Price. And she was only missing Mark Price's signature. And that day, Mark Price was joining us at Legends Corner. So I think it's been fun. And we also saw the cover of the 1972, I believe, Sports Illustrated magazine with Michael Campanella Russell with his beautiful Mason blue uniform from the University of Michigan in the cover.
Yes. Well, it happened some long time ago, But, the good news about that is that I picked the right school to go to, which was the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Best thing ever happened to me. But, again, when you just look at just what we have going at the Legends Corner, I think, it's just this great opportunity to engage our fans and for our fans to get closer to us. Because, as you know, we started off by signing autographs. But I think we all came to a very quick conclusion that I think fans and people value photos because that is something that you will not throw away. You will keep it for as long as you can keep your phone going. But for the most part, I really like what's going on now with the Legends Corner. We'll continue to grow that with our fans, and that's what you want to see happen is just interactions between former players, current players, whoever has come through this building as a Cavalier to be engaged with those particular guys.
Can you do me a favor? Next time you mention your alma mater, let me know ahead of time so I can give you a background music.
Yeah. I'll give you the heads up.
So you talk about your alma mater. That was Legends Corner where you can come in and meet our guys, meet our legends, and have stuff signed and everything. The guy who is joining us tonight on Legends Table is the man responsible for everybody having a little more time with our legends at Legends Corner because Mr. Larry Nance, number 22, the patriarch of the family of basketball here in Cleveland, will be joining us in this maiden voyage on, por supuesto, como I have to say something in Spanish, right? Por supuesto. Cavs Legends Table, presented by Surfside, exclusively on Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
There he is. There he is. Oh, my goodness. He was sharing a little tear there, too.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cavs Legends Table. Michael Campanella Russell and yours truly, Rafa Hernandez-Brito, here in the maiden voyage of this new adventure on Rock Entertainment Sports Network. We are presented by Surfside, sunshine in a can, and we are joined by the patriarch of the equivalent of Camelot to Cleveland, the Nances, Mr. Larry Nance, number 22, hanging in the rafters at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Larry, thank you so much for joining us in this first episode.
Thanks for having me.
You were like the perfect person to have because we are in like around the All-Star just happened, All-Star weekend and everything, and you are the winner of the original Slam Dunk Championship back in recently, 1984?
84.
84 it was?
Half the people wasn't born, but that was a long time, black and white TV and all that stuff. But
that's not true.
If you go win one, win the first one. And I was really, really pumped up to win that because I was going against Dr. J, who was my childhood hero. Mm-hmm. So in order to beat him was pretty special.
I always tell people, for all the young viewers, everybody thinks of Michael Jordan, and one of the best items I have signed by Michael Jordan is a cover of the Sporting News that said he was him on Scrubs, and he said the next Dr. J, because I remember Dr. J as being, like you said, the man who invented dunking.
Oh yeah, right? He was the one in my book. Every day in my backyard, I was Dr. J. When I wake up, and my backyard was called the Spectrum. That's what Dr. J played. So everything about Dr. J, I was it, man.
I hope it didn't look like the Spectrum because
no, it looked nothing like no. It was nowhere near nice.
This is an interesting thing. What I have to say here about Larry. I remember seeing Larry as a rookie, and how overwhelmed I was about this young guy. Because here we saw a guy 6'9", 6'10", more athletic than anybody I've ever saw. And how fast he can get up and down the floor. He was just he brought so much energy on that floor that night. We all left out of there saying, who was that rookie? And he turned out to be a heck of a player.
But for those of you guys who didn't get a chance to watch that 1984, the original Slam Dunk Championship, the lineup, forget about Dr. J. The human highlight was in it too, Dominic Wilkins. Yeah. Clyde Drexler, who is also known for having a couple of those, highlight reel dunks, was in it too. And then when you're talking about Larry Nance's athleticism, Ralph Sampson was always also in it. The fact that, but also Ralph Sampson didn't have to even run to dunk the ball, so that's why he didn't get many. That's why he didn't get many points in the contest.
That's true. We had some really good competitors in it, and that was the best thing about that one was because all the guys that were in it was not afraid to compete. Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody's going to lose, but we all going to go out there and give our best. And I don't know why guys up today don't do that. It's just good competition, and if you want to dunk in the game, let's go out there and dunk against the best and see what happens.
Now, I always told you this, that you were the first ever vision I ever had of the NBA because my aunt brought in a Betamax. That's how long ago it was.
I told you.
A Betamax. and she had pressed record on the thing, and he recorded video. And then back home in El Salvador, we had 3 channels, and 2 were from the government, so we didn't really get to see much TV. The commercials looked like movies, and one of the commercials was a preview of the Slam Dunk Championship coming up, because they used to do it at halftime. It wasn't even like a big event on Saturday like it is now. It was a halftime, a recap of what happened, and there was Larry dunking with 2 balls.
Right.
Now, I didn't know that, what's his name, had tried it also, Dr. J. Was it Dr. J or was it Dominic Wilkins who also tried it with
Dominic
2 balls?
did.
Dominic Wilkins tried it, right?
Yeah.
Yours was better, by the way. But also, the coolest thing is Larry Nance dunking with sweatpants during one of the times you were still wearing your sweatpants.
I always wore my sweatbands. And,
really?
Now, I think my first dunk, I had my pants on too. So I was really comfortable, and just was going there to win. And fortunately, I did win.
Well, I think when you look back at that dunk contest, I think you had all the elements, in my opinion. You had the length, you had the jumping ability, you had the long hands, and more importantly, you had creativity. And I think that's really what separates everybody, is who has the most creative dunk. And there's no question that night, back in 1984, that was just spectacular.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, going against Doc and then getting that $10,000. You know what I did with that money?
What do you do? Do you put it on Catch 22?
Bought a 67
right.
Camaro.
I knew it was going to have to do
I
something
knew
with
it
the
had
car
something
now.
to do with the car.
Anytime you're around me, my family is getting tired of me too. Because it's either cars or basketball. But now that I got grandkids coming, though, it's changing a little bit.
Well, you brought it up. You got a new grandkid coming up anytime soon, and also the Catch-22 Camaro 1967. Were you always a car person, or you were? How do you get into drag racing and just race cars, or were you just a regular car person?
My father was a mechanic.
Okay.
And I actually went to high school to be a mechanic. I thought that's what I was going to be, a truck driver or a mechanic, and then basketball got in the way.
Then you grew up.
Got in the way.
Yeah, basketball got in the way, which I had a love for that too. But yeah, I love cars and love working on them, and pretty much high performance cars. And I own a Pro Mod car that we still race. I don't drive anymore, but I work on it all the time, and always trying to find sponsorship. Of course.
No, there you go. Please call Larry Nance.
Yeah, call me.
1-800-222222.
Yeah, all twos. But yeah, I really.
You got to call 216 first.
Yeah,
though.
216. Yeah, all right.
But yeah, I really love cars and working on them, and it keeps me busy.
From your days with the Cavs, Larry, I think that generation is always considered. I always say that there's so many steps for the Cavs to get to 2016 to win the championship. And even though it's separated by a lot of years, if the Cavs don't get to 2016 if they don't go through what the organization went through when you were here, when Campy was here. But in your case, it was a really like match made in heaven, especially around this time of the trade deadline when you came here. A trade that kind of benefited both teams.
Yeah, it did. I know when I first came here, I got traded a beautiful 85-degree day in Phoenix, and found out I got traded to Cleveland, which it was snowing all over the place. So once I got past that, we really had a great run. We had the best coach in the world. I love my teammates, and we really was a really good team that played the right way, and we won lots of games. We should have won a championship, but we didn't, and I guess I'm good with that. If I didn't win one, I ain't worried about it. I wanted to try to win with those guys I had.
We're going to continue talking with Larry Nance, number 22, the original number 22, because as you know, there was another Larry Nance that wore number 22 in a few years back here with the Cavs. But we're going to continue with more of these Cavs Legends Stable presented by Surfside, exclusively on Rock Entertainment Sports Network.
Some handmade.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cavs Legends Table. Michael Campanella, Russell, Rafa, Hernandez-Brito, and we are being joined by Mr. Larry Nance. And I apologize for not thanking you for this, because Campy kind of gave us credit, and you are the one responsible for Cavs Legends Corner moving a little more smoothly. And thank you for joining us and for greeting our fans when you're here with us.
You know, we have the best fans in the world. And I know every team think that, but I really believe it. And so when we're doing the corner, you could just tell how happy everybody is and how smooth it run. And it's not a problem. I could meet fans all day.
Well, speaking of the fans, I'm sure during the time you was here as a Cavalier, you guys did a great job of really presenting yourselves, not just on the court, but in the community. And I think when you look back at the game now in terms of how it's played, these current guys are doing the exact same thing. So speak to me about, the time when you played versus how they're playing now. Not necessarily how you're playing, but what are they doing within the community as well.
Well, just, again, they still have the great fans, and these fans make those guys feel comfortable, so these guys don't mind being out there among them. And the same way we were, number one, we loved each other, we loved doing stuff together, and this group is the same way. And you can see when they're playing on the court, it's a lot of smiling going on. You know what I mean? Because that means they're having a lot of success. I mean, anytime a team in Cleveland is having success, everybody is happy.
This generation is also considered and is compared a lot to your group. And aside from the similarities of the two bigs, Larry, you and Brad, and then we have the Twin Towers now, we have the guards. Obviously, Mark Price was a great point guard that fit the group, just like Garland fits this group now, and guys got along. I understand your team was also like a one bus team as opposed to 3-4 different groups going around. But what else? What other similarities do you find on the team in terms of what they do on the court?
You know, one thing they do is move the basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and if everybody would understand that, no matter how great a human is, they can't keep up with the pass.
Eventually.
So if you move the ball enough, it'll eventually find an open guy, and then he'll get a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we play. And we let the defense make a mistake, and then we capitalize off of it. And this team do the same thing. They move the ball, and then every time, a lot of times, there's wide open looks. And
everybody can shoot.
And if they make it, they all can shoot. And if they're making them, they're almost impossible to beat.
Well, I think one of the biggest things, I think the biggest difference is when you look at your team, when you were essentially a small forward in some regards, and you were 6'9", 6'10". Then you had Hot Rod, who was 6'11". Then you had Brad, who was 7 feet. I mean, that is a tough task for anybody to deal with. Now you look at what we have right now with J.A. as well as, just how we're built and structured now. I just think that is just how Cavalier teams have been built over the years, and they continue to carry that forward. So for me, because of the size that we have, that is what has helped propel our basketball team. But more importantly, when you got guys in back of you who can shut down the paint, it makes everybody more aggressive out there. And I think that's the combination that this team has as well as you guys have.
I agree with you, and I'm really happy that this team had those bigs.
Yes.
Because the whole league is going to standing out there jacking up threes, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. I think if I was playing now, I'd probably be on the bench, but we have those bigs, and we take advantage of them.
Yes.
On the defensive end and the offensive end, and they cover up a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
And I'm glad they play with bigs because, to me, I would like to see the game come back to a lot more bigs being on the floor.
When Larry came here, Larry Jr., the whole story, we know the story about you asking the organization to let him wear number 22, and I'm not going to ask you about the Larry side. I hope there is a good story behind you choosing number 22. Is there a story behind that?
My brother wore 22.
Okay.
And he loved Elgin Baylor. So that's where he wore it from. My brother was pretty much my hero. He was one thing about him is he was 6'4" and competed like beyond belief. So his effort was one thing I had to carry with the 22, and that he wore it, and then my daughter wore it, Pete wore it, and Larry wore it. So it's a beautiful thing when I see my kids with that 22 on. My chest is out this big. So now I got to get Larry got his 2 coming, and Casey gonna have one coming. So get the 22s going.
I don't care where you are, but 22 belongs to the Nance family. We take another break here in Cavs Legends Corner, presented by Surfside. When we come back, we have a little surprise for all of us, including Larry Nance joining us here on Cavs Legends Table on Rock Entertainment Sports Network. Down the stretch we come on the first edition of Cavs Legends Table on Rock Entertainment Sports Network, presented by Surfside, sunshine in a can, and it's a special day. We have Mr. Larry Nance here joining us. It's also his birthday. The champion of the first ever Slam Dunk Championship is here celebrating his birthday. Thank you for coming to celebrate your birthday with us.
Hey, this is good stuff right here. All right, this is good. Thank you very much. I got a knife right here. We can
pop it up,
I can cut Campy or I can cut this cake. Either one is good with me.
Hey, Larry, for me, man, this is fitting, because this is our first show here. This is the opportunity to have you here, your birthday, perfect storm.
Make a wish, man.
Okay, I'm good. I blew it out.
Yeah.
It's all good, dude. I love being.
Happy birthday
we love you, man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. I'm sorry for singing this song.
Hey, listen, before we go, we got a few minutes, little more than a minute. At what point did you and your wife knew that Cleveland was the place where you were going to just form your family or finish forming your family because you already had a kid? But at what point do you sense that, and what made that happen for you and your wife?
When we started meeting the fans, I mean, we just knew, we just knew this place was a nice place to raise a family because of all the people we met. And if our only complaint was the weather, then we have a pretty good life. So that's the only thing I complain about is the weather every once in a while. But other than that, this place is awesome to me. In our family.
I always tell people, because I'm like you, and also like you, we're like adopted Clevelanders,
Right.
and it is so easy to find out and figure out why people love this place. Because of these people, because the people that made the city. And your kids have actually not only come, both your kids have played for the Cavaliers.
Yep.
You're a Cavalier, you're part of the whole Cavalier family.
Who's got it better than me?
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's a great answer.
Every time I see that on the football team, every time I see that, I'm sitting on TV saying, do what I do. I got it pretty good.
We're actually taking time away from his grandkids to come join us.
I'm headed back to Mia and Cameron right now and going to play. Yep,
Well, because Mr. Larry Nance has to go, we have to go as well in this first edition of Cavaliers Legend Stable presented by Surfside. Mr. Larry Nance, Michael Campanella Russell, and yours truly, Rafa Hernandez-Brito. Thank you for joining us. We'll be with you on Cavs Legends Corner on every home game.
Yes.
And Cavs Legends Table every other week here on Rock Entertainment Sports Network.